Good morning, Vietnam. Hi, guys. This is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's it going? Good? Wow. I am so excited because today is Tommy Nation Tuesday. And although we've got a lot of things going on today, we have near attendance budget committee confirmation. We have the impeachment of Donald J. Trump. We have guests and fun people ahead. I am honored to tell you guys that today we are going to talk about and discuss the enemy within. I hope you guys enjoy and learn a lot, because that's what we're here to do. Also, 3 things to create magic: free thinking, innovative, be totally open-minded, Tommy Nation Politics.
Do you think, though, that what we're learning from Donna Brazil's book suggests that the campaign, that what the Democratic National Committee did, meant this election was rigged?
Yeah, I think it was.
It's a pretty powerful charge.
Well, what we have to focus on now as Democrats is we recognize the process was rigged, and now it is up to Democrats to build a new process, a process that really works and works for everyone.
And that wasn't the only time Senator Elizabeth Warren said that yesterday. She's reacting to allegations made by former interim Democratic National Committee Chairwoman Donna Brazil that the Democratic primary was rigged in favor of Hillary Clinton. Brazil took the helm of the DNC on the eve of the party's convention last year when Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz resigned as chair after leaked emails showed party officials internally criticizing the campaign of Senator Bernie Sanders and supporting Clinton. Writing in Politico, Brazil says that after becoming interim chair, she discovered a fundraising deal that allowed Clinton's campaign to control the cash-strapped DNC before she won the nomination. Brazil writes, quote, in exchange for raising money and investing in the DNC, Hillary would control the party's finances strategy and all the money raised. Her campaign had the right of refusal of who would be the party communications director, and it would make final decisions on all the other staff. The DNC also was required to consult with the campaign about all other staffing, budgeting data, analytics, and mailings. Brazil says she broke the news to Bernie Sanders on September 7, just 2 months before the general election, that he took it stoically and did not yell or express anger. Donna Brazil goes deeper in the DNC's cash problems. She writes, Obama left the party $24 million in debt, $15 million in bank debt, and more than $8 million owed to vendors after the 2012 campaign, and had been paying that off very slowly. John Heilman, you've studied this campaign very closely, obviously. Let's just establish first, how different is this from something we would see in previous campaigns? In other words, the leading candidate working closely with the DNC and controlling the way it does its business.
Dramatically different in the sense that in a contested Democratic nomination fight or a Republican nomination fight, the party is supposed to be neutral during the period of the time that the fighting is taking place. If you have an incumbent president, the incumbent president, Barack Obama, say in 2012, controls the DNC effectively because he is the standard bearer of the party. In a situation like this, the party is supposed to be neutral, and when you have a winner in the Democratic nomination process, you then have that winner take control of the DNC. Traditionally, that is how it's supposed to work.
We didn't have a winner yet.
We did not have a winner yet. In this circumstance, it is now alleged by Donna Brazil that dating back to only a couple months after Hillary Clinton announced her entry into the race in the fall of 2015, that she effectively took over secretly financial control and other control of the DNC. And we've only started to just brush the surface here. There were allegations back at the time that if you looked at the way the DNC structured its debate schedule, how the debates, how few of them there were, when they were scheduled on weekends and so forth, that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was trying to protect Hillary Clinton from competition with Bernie Sanders. Those allegations, which I reported at the time, were completely true. Everyone understood who followed this that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was sort of on Hillary Clinton's team. The Sanders people were angry about that, but the extent of it, the financial element of it that Donna Brazil has now revealed is, I think, going to be, even to people who are supporters of Secretary Clinton's now, is pretty shocking. That this degree of collusion on some level was taking place during the time of the Democratic nomination fight.
And Donnie, it's so interesting. We go back to in real time. I remember Mika was day in and day out going after Debbie Wasserman Schultz, saying that she was rigging the process. You know, we started talking one morning about how the process was rigged. The process is rigged. Trump picked it up and started using the term himself later on. I guess that was back when he watched the show. Of course, he never watches it anymore.
Never.
But, Donnie, you look, though, what Mika was accusing Debbie Wasserman Schultz and the Democrats of doing, and they became so enraged. They were even calling Phil Griffin and, demanding apologies. You look, though, as we get a deep dive into this, and you see that you had a Democratic Party that had everything go wrong at once. You had, Donna Brazile says, an incumbent president who raised more money than anybody else in American history, disengaged from the process, and he left the Democratic Party badly in debt. You have Hillary Clinton, a very ineffective presidential candidate whose team strangled the DNC and didn't let them do their job. They had control over everything the DNC was doing before she was even a candidate. And then you have the chairwoman of the DNC actively rigging the process. Again, we've always said everything lined up, everything that had to happen for Donald Trump to win on that particular date happened. And this is a part of the million dominoes that had to fall perfectly in place for this reality TV star to get elected.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Tommy Nation Politics.
To talk with all by myself, no one to walk with, but I'm happy on the shelf. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you, for you, for you, for you. I know for certain the one I love. I'm through with flirting, it's you that I'm thinking of. Ain't misbehaving, saving my love for you.
Bringing at the latest now in fashion mogul Peter Nygaard. He's behind bars this morning, facing charges that include sex trafficking. Some of his accusers are now speaking out. So is one of his sons, right here on GMA, about his decision to testify against his father. Adrian Bankert has the story. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning to you too, George. Yes, there's that father-son component and then this long list of allegations. A spokesperson for Nygaard says that he maintains his innocence.
This morning, disgraced fashion mogul Peter Nygaard is set to face a judge hoping to be released on bail. Nygaard, a self-avowed playboy known for his flowing hair, open shirts, and fur coats, was known as the polyester king, running a multi-million-dollar fashion empire with clothing once sold across North America in stores like Dillard's, Costco, Walmart, and Sears. Now the 79-year-old is facing charges including sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy after a grand jury indicted him in December. The U.S. attorney in Manhattan is accusing him of several crimes, including using his company's money, influence, employees, and resources to coerce dozens of adult and minor-aged females to have sex with him and his associates in at least 3 countries. Recently worth a reported $750 million, Nygaard had flaunted his wealth for decades, frequently traveling by private jet to his luxurious homes, like this 6-acre compound he built in the Bahamas, which was featured on the Oprah Winfrey Show.
I just said to Chrissy, I am not living large enough, I reckon.
Prosecutors and alleged victims say that behind the glamour was a predator, more than 50 women, joining a class action lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault and trafficking.
Peter Nygaard might be the worst of the bunch.
In the upcoming Discovery Plus documentary Unseemly, the investigation of Peter Nygaard, a dozen of his alleged victims describe what they call violent and non-consensual sexual encounters they say he forced on them.
Today was
it felt like
in the US, well, Sunday night.
He liked what he was
doing. A big focus
doing.
on entertainment
advertising and patriotism. Amanda
I just
Gordon,
had
who
no
starred
power.
at Joe Biden's inauguration last month, riffed in praise of frontline pandemic workers.
Finding the frontline heroes, risking their lives for our own. Let us walk with these warriors, charge on with these champions, and carry forth the call of our captains. We celebrate them by acting with courage and compassion, by doing what is right and just. For while we honor them today, it is they who every day honor us.
There was no escaping a bit of politics either, given where the US finds itself at the moment. And I want to show you part of one of the ads. This is for Jeep. Now, there's nothing more American than Jeep, right? Well, they're now owned by a US, Italian, French giant that also owns Fiat and Peugeot and Citroën and Maserati. So anyway, Jeep plays up the American brand. And for this ad, they use Bruce Springsteen, the boss, because his brand also is kind of American heartland. Have a look.
There's a chapel in Kansas, standing on the exact center of the lower 48. It never closes. All are more than welcome to come meet here in the middle. It's no secret. The middle has been a hard place to get to lately, between red and blue, between servant and citizen, between our freedom and our fear.
Yeah, fear. There's been a lot of fear from both sides of politics in the US. Now, that was beautifully shot, that ad, yes, and lovely sentiments there, sure. The ad finishes by referring to the reunited states of America. Yeah, the Democrats who feverishly resisted the 2016 result for 4 years have now reunited the country, they say. Give me a break. But Springsteen always campaigns for the Democrats, of course, and he's the boss. He's a millionaire, and he doesn't represent the middle of America. The point is that Joe Biden does not represent the middle either. America has changed president, but it hasn't found the middle. Much of Trump's support came from the hard right fringe and from the middle. And much of Biden's obviously comes from the middle too, but also the loony left fringe. And Biden does need to govern for the middle. I hope he does. But the early signs are not good. On border protection, on the Keystone Pipeline project, on climate change, he's pitching to the green left. He might be so far off to the loony left at the moment that he needs a Jeep to get back to the mainstream. Perhaps the boss will give him a lift. Now, the disunity in the states is about to be highlighted again this week when the Democrats rub salt into the electoral wounds through the impeachment trial of Donald Trump.
House impeachment managers will argue former President Trump primed and prepared his supporters for violence.
Can you give a direct answer? You will accept the election?
I have to see. Will you commit to making sure that there is a peaceful transferal of power after the election?
Well, we're going to have to see what happens. Millions and millions of people voted for us tonight, and a very sad group of people is trying to disenfranchise that group of people, and we won't stand for it.
Then they'll say he whipped the crowd into a frenzy.
And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Mr. Trump's lawyers will argue that a trial to remove a former president is unconstitutional, and he was protected by the First Amendment to express his belief that the election results were suspect.
There simply is no jurisdiction. This country needs to move on.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone?
What a stimulus. What an unemployment. What a stimulus.
Tommy Nation Politics.
What a stimulus. Nancy? At the end of the day, you're another day older. And that's all you can say for the life of the poor. It's a struggle, it's a war. There's nothing that anyone's giving. And we're all standing above. Living. At the end of the day, you're another day colder. And the shirt on your back doesn't keep out the chill. And the righteous hurry past. They don't hear the little ones crying. And the winter is coming on fast, ready to kill. one day near to be dying. At the end of the day, there's another day dawning. And the sun in the morning is waiting to rise. Like the storm that'll break any second. There's a wreck. At the end of the day. This Congress looks balls. Have you seen her? Have you seen Nancy Pelosi today? That this, at the end of the day, you'll get nothing for nothing. Of a pandemic. And we're all lucky to be in a job and in a bed. Evictions. And we're counting our blessings. Oh God, that thing called Joe Biden.
Joe Biden is likely to name Neera Tanden as the head of the Office of Management and Budget, which is terrifying if you know anything about Neera Tanden and how hostile she is toward progressives and any member, left member of the Democratic Party. Now, one of the things that we should really be looking out for is her views on austerity. And back in 2010, when the Obama administration certainly was open to cutting funding to entitlement programs, Neera Tanden was part of that push to do so. So Neera Tanden is the president of the Center for American Progress. It is a think tank. And one thing that everyone needs to be abundantly clear on is that most think tanks, and I know I'm speaking generally here, but I think that you'll find out that I'm telling the truth, and there's evidence to this if you look at funding. Most think tanks serve as laundromats in order to launder political corruption. They're very much part and parcel of the legalized bribery system that we have set up in the United States. And that's certainly true when it comes to Neera Tanden's views on foreign policy and on austerity. So let's start off with Social Security and austerity. Biden, who has repeatedly pushed for Social Security cuts throughout his career, announced his selection of Center for American Progress President Neera Tanden as his choice to run the powerful White House Office of Management and Budget. A longtime aide to Hillary Clinton, Tanden touted her think tank's 2010 proposal to reduce Social Security benefits in 2012 as Biden was pushing for such cuts in the Obama administration. In fact, Neera Tanden felt pretty comfortable going on C-SPAN to explain why she thinks this is a great idea, cutting funding to Social Security. Watch.
There's a viewer here who wants you to take us deeper into entitlements by Twitter. Ms. Tanden, do you know what the president means when he says entitlements are on the table? Any specifics and anything you would endorse?
Yeah, I mean, so there are a range of entitlements that, I think when we're talking about entitlements, we're talking about Medicare, Social Security, Medicaid. These are programs that people receive support because of the status that they have. So when after 65, you get funding from Social Security and Medicare. Actually, it's getting older for Social Security. But the president has $300 billion in his budget in cuts in Medicare. That comes on top of cuts in Medicare from the Affordable Care Act. So he has put specific cuts in the budget already in Medicare, and they had savings in Medicaid in the past. I think the question really is, if we're gonna have a deal to address long-term deficit reduction, we need to put both entitlements on the table as well as taxes. It's unfair to ask only middle-class Americans to bear the burden of our deficits. Middle-class Americans actually didn't create the deficits. So I think the challenge is that we should have entitlements on the savings, on the entitlements, and the Center for American Progress has put forward ideas on proposals to reform the beneficiary structure of Social Security. Some of our progressive allies aren't as excited about that as we are, but we've put those ideas on the table. But we think that those are legitimate ideas that need to be put part of a proposal where everyone's at the table.
So again, let me just remind everyone, this is back in 2010 when there is this incoming, or at this point they're already in Republican Congress, and they're very much pretending to be concerned about deficits, and so they're putting themselves in this position of allegedly being deficit hawks. I think it's abundantly clear now that they've never been deficit hawks. They have no problem with overspending, especially during Republican administrations. Look at how much spending is happening under the Trump administration, in addition to tax cuts. And so what Neera Tanden was saying there was, no, we should raise taxes, sure, but really we need to also consider cutting funding to these entitlements like Social Security. And Cenk, if I may, I just want to quickly explain how the Center for American Progress proposed to do that. This is according to the Daily Poster, David Sirota's publication, and Walter Bragman writes the following: Tanden's Social Security push followed the 2010 midterms. During the deficit reduction negotiations between the Obama administration and the new GOP Congress, Republicans drew a hard line, but Obama sought a middle ground. Of course he did. Central to the administration's efforts, which were led by Biden, was a plan called the chained CPI that would have slowed the rate at which Social Security benefits increase over time. In a report on Social Security solvency, the Center for American Progress, again, this is Neera Tanden's think tank, released 2 years earlier. The organization cautioned that Social Security is showing its age and warned that progressive ideas like lifting the payroll tax without addressing other problems in Social Security's benefit design would be a mistake. One of the solutions it proposed was the chained CPI.
The chain CPI. Chain CPI, huh? How's it going, guys? Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Good? I've got a whole bunch of cool guests with me, hopefully. You never know these days, guys. We've got lots to do, us working class folk, trying to make sure that we maintain the status quo by helping the wealthiest among us, the 1% who own more wealth than the bottom 90% combined, continuously funnel their wealth. We're good slaves. We get our vaccines, we pay our taxes, we say our prayers, and then we let them cut entitlements, guys, while they're wasting taxpayer money, impeaching a president that's already out of office. That's hilarious, isn't it? Think about this, guys. Think about Neera Tanden for a second. This bitch. Now, why am I not excited about this presidency of Joe Biden's? Why wasn't I excited from the get-go? Well, I mean, from the get-go, it was all a big coalescing of 25 know-nothing, no-platform neoliberals that, now that Hillary was out of office, decided that, they were going to go ahead and make a run for it. They were going to do what they should have been doing, right? Serving the American people. It's all so fun, guys. All so fun. And you hear Neera Tanden over there? She wants to cut entitlements. She wants to cut Social Security. She wants to cut Medicare. She wants to cut unemployment benefits. And don't think they don't want to do that in the middle of a pandemic, guys. Why do you think this COVID relief is taking so long? Why do you think they're still, the Republicans, Joe Manchin? What else are they gonna fucking make as an excuse to not do the will of the American people, to not take care of we the people? You know, the people who ensure the domestic tranquility, the people that promote the general welfare. We the people who make the wealth for the elites in the first place. No, all that's on hold. I'll tell you what's not on hold. Wasting taxpayer money, impeaching a president that's already out of office. They can waste all the taxpayer money they want on that. But are they gonna pass a stimulus bill? Hashtag where the stimulus. Hashtag USA. Hashtag progressive politics. Hashtag Tommy Nation politics. So those are my talking points, guys. And that's the talking points memo. Tommy Nation politics. I hope everyone's doing good today. I have a very special guest with you guys. You know, Trump, he didn't want to testify in the trial. He decided instead to go golfing today. He's got some words to say to you today, right now. So I guess, let's see if he's ready. The president, I have with me the former president of the United States. Let me see if he's ready. Mr. Prez, you ready? Typing. Mr. President, Mr. Former President. I think he is. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, the former president of the United States of America, President Donald J. Trump.
Absolutely fantastic, Tommy. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Oh, I can hear you great, sir. Speak on.
Excellent.
You have the bully pulpit.
Wanted to make sure you could hear me. Yeah, I just got off the golf course. I tell you what, Joe, you can have you can have the White House for a minute there, because it's just so much fun. I just hit balls all day long now. It's just too much fun. Out of this world. Absolutely fantastic to be on Tommy Nation again. Always great to see you, Tommy. Everyone out there, love or hate the Donald, doesn't make a difference. I'm not the president anymore, but believe me, it kind of hurts to say this. I'm just not the president, but some people will think of me as the president, and I think they call me the president for the rest of my life anyway. So what the heck? I'm really enjoying not having any cameras, no Secret Service all over me. If I say something and I want something done, if you don't do it, you're fired. And that's all there is to it. I don't have a bunch of congressional thises or that's. We'll address some of that witch hunt, fake impeachment that's going on right now. Hey, it looks like you got a pretty good audience out there, Tommy. Kind of like a congregation. Since it's a congregation, Tommy, does this count? Does this count as the Donald going to church this month? Wink, wink.
It could.
Let's get back to me not being the POTUS anymore. I still love the country, absolutely, and especially the golf courses, and mostly my golf courses, of course. Heck, let's see. I'm going to ask for a USA chant. Everyone at home, do the USA chant with me. When I ask for a USA chant, it's USA 3 times. And hey, Tommy, since I think I'm in church here, can I get a testify after the 3rd USA? Tommy, will you do the testify? Would you be willing to do that?
I will say testify.
Okay, I'm going to audition you. You got to audition for the part here. Let's hear that testify one time, okay?
Testify.
Absolutely. Tommy, you're hired. Okay, so TV land, Zoom land, YouTube land, whatever it is. Can I get a USA? USA, 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 and to testify.
Testify, USA.
Absolutely fantastic. Let's just have some fun. Absolutely. That's better than hitting a hole in one with Stormy Daniels.
Oh.
Almost is better. Anyhow, hey, I was just talking to the big guy the other day, up top there. And he was saying he wants me to go a different way with the America First movement. He wants me to do some stuff on late night and whatnot. Tommy, did you have a question for me?
I just wanted to know, sir, if I might, Mr. President, what is the Donald going to do now?
Fantastic question, Tommy. Absolutely fantastic question. I've got a couple of things lined up. Next week, I'm going to do an endorsement for Goya canned goods, beans and other gaseous. Is Giuliani here? Oh my! Get him out of here! Get him out of here! We're gonna do, and I've been wanting to do this one for years because I'm not only a customer, I'm also part owner. The Hair Club for Men.
Oh,
Joe, you can have all that White House stuff, living by all those rules and all that. I'm gonna open up some businesses down here in Florida. we're going to open up a tanning salon near Mar-a-Lago called Orange. You glad you tanned here? We got one out in California called Tanna Go Go.
Oh.
But you know what, Tommy? The #1 revenue producer out of these tanning chain should probably be the one at the Mall of Americas, because we're going to open up one near the food court where you could get one of those nutritious, fruity, juicy shakes and a tan at the Orange Giuliani.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Well, let's see here. I don't think Sleepy Joe's going to last that long. He's really not up to it. During the Super Bowl address, his wife gave half the speech, because he couldn't remember his lines. That's right. Believe me, Kamala loves the 6-foot rule, because if not, he'd be all over her. And I tell you what, Kamala's in training. She's in training right now. I'll tell you what, as soon as they lift that 6-foot rule, Joe goes in for an unwanted hair sniff. Kamala slaps him all the way back down to the basement.
She didn't like the 6-foot rule back in California, if you know what I mean.
I heard those stories. Wink, wink. Definitely. I tell you, that's right. She's going to smack him all the way back down to the basement, just like a Mike Tyson fight. Boom! Bada bing, bada bang.
Oh,
bada
no. Mr. President. No, I'm speaking, Mr. President. No.
Yeah, then we're going to have President Harris real soon here after that. And I tell you what, that's the only reason why they're not going to impeach Biden, because they don't want President Harris in there.
I don't.
Yeah, they use it. Well, I don't either, because I love my cheeseburgers. The main ingredient in cheeseburgers, day one, President Harris, no more cows. Wow, wow. Not going to happen.
Oh, no. She's speaking.
Yeah. Tommy, you're probably wondering where Melania is. Tell you what, as a matter of fact, I haven't seen her. Her and Barron have been gone shopping for a couple of days now. Looks like I'm home alone again.
Oh! What do you do when you're home alone?
I play golf.
Play
golf.
Sure.
Just the other day, in fact, this weekend, I played golf with Caitlyn Jenner. It's true. It's true. Now, I've been friends with Bruce Jenner for a long, long, long time. Recently, that relationship got a little shorter. Tell you the truth, Bruce used to stay at our hotels back when he was a winner. Oh, hold on, my teleprompter's mixing up. Oh, yeah, Bruce used to stay at our hotels back when he had a wiener. Yeah, that's right.
That was funny.
One more here. I used to play golf with Bruce 20 years ago, and again last weekend I played golf with Caitlyn a few times. To tell you the truth, her score was a couple of balls shy.
Oh my God, Mr. President, come on, Mr. President.
Let me tell you this, I want to wind up with some really good news here. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Tommy, are you a Dallas Cowboy fan?
I like Tom Brady right now. He's pretty hot. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, Tom Brady's all and everything like that. But breaking news: Jerry Jones just put the Dallas Cowboys up for sale on gazillionaire.com. We're in negotiations. Absolutely. Nice. Hold on. I'm getting it. Somebody at my door here. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Whoa! Look, I just got a FedEx package. Oh, wonder what from Jerry Jones. Oh yes, he's accepted my offer. Oh my God! Breaking news. MJ Trump just bought the Dallas Cowboys. Woo! Woo-hoo! They got my number right, everything. Oh yeah. Tommy, season tickets for you. Four season tickets right up there in the presidential box. How about that? That's going to be
thanks, Mr. President.
So much fun. Absolutely so much fun. I've been down here in Mar-a-Lago for 2 weeks. A couple of celebrities have called to congratulate me, tell me different things. Michael Jackson called. He told me to beat it.
Oh.
Snoop Dogg called, and he said, for shizzle. Tom Hanks. I love ribbing Tom Hanks because, Tom, he's one of those really big supporters. He isn't. We all saw that movie Castaways a few years ago. Tom called, and he was looking for some guy named Wilson.
Wilson.
I do 60 different impersonations as a comedian. My favorite celebrity to impersonate is Forrest Trump. So I'll do this, and this will be, I'll wind down with this one here. I love doing Forrest because he's a mama's boy. Here we go. Mama always used to say, stupid is as stupid does. And here I am. Ah! Wow.
Mr. President, is that all for you?
We're gonna see. Vladimir Putin called, and he told me if Melania leaves me, he just wanted to remind me. I bought 3 mail order brides. He's still good for that buy 3 get 1 free. So let me close with this one joke here. All you don't have to drive home. Usually I do this one in the club. Is my closer. Be careful on the way home. I know a few people have had a couple of drinks and whatnot, right? Don't drive. Here's my driving tip of the day. If you get out there tomorrow, don't drive in other people's blind spots. If you drive in the blind spots, where are the blind people going to drive? 4 more years.
4 more years. 4 more years.
God bless Tommy Nation.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much. This was Michael Filato, guys. Michael Filato is going to be, he's MJ Trump. You can find him on Facebook, YouTube. Go ahead and tell him where to find you, Mr. President.
I'm on Facebook as Michael MJ Trump. I'm Michael Filato. Also on YouTube, I'm Michael MJ Filato, F-A-L-A-T-O. Real easy. If you type in SNL MJ Trump, usually all come up in the search. And need a couple subscribers out there on YouTube. Also doing a little bit of Joe Biden out there just because, hey, I need to get hired doing both. Why not?
I mean, we all got to get hired right now. Those Republicans and Democrats are the only ones with jobs right now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, hopefully you'll stick with us for the roundtable.
Yes.
Awesome. Good. Well, guys, that was Michael Filato. So up next, we have, I just want to let you guys know what's going on with we're just going to play a little bit of this wonderful, Nate, are you ready or what? Because I'm trying to, I can't hear from Nate. Guys, did y'all see this today? I'm just going to play just a little bit of it, okay? Let me know what y'all think on the chat.
National Guard, maintenance and custodial crews, the print journalists and TV people who were here, and all of our families and friends. And I hope this trial reminds America how personal democracy is, and how personal is the loss of democracy, too. Distinguished members of the Senate, my youngest daughter, Tabitha, was there with me on Wednesday, January 6th. It was the day after we buried her brother, our son Tommy, the saddest day of our lives. Also, there was my son-in-law, Hank, who's married to our oldest daughter, Hannah, and I consider him a son, too, even though he eloped with my daughter and didn't tell us what they were going to do. But it was in the middle of COVID-19. But the reason they came with me that Wednesday, January 6th, was because they wanted to be together with me in the middle of a devastating week for our family. And I told them I had to go back to work because we were counting electoral votes that day on January 6th. It was our constitutional duty. And I invited them instead to come with me to witness this historic event, the peaceful transfer of power in America. And They said they heard that President Trump was calling on his followers to come to Washington to protest, and they asked me directly, would it be safe? Would it be safe? And I told them, of course it should be safe. This is the Capitol. Steny Hoyer, our majority leader, had kindly offered me the use of his office on the House floor because I was one of the managers that day and we were going through our grief. So Tabitha and Hank were with me in Steny's office as colleagues dropped by to console us about the loss of our middle child, Tommy, our beloved Tommy. Mr. Neguse and Mr. Cicilline actually came to see me that day. Dozens of members, lots of Republicans, lots of Democrats.
Okay, so that's exactly what it was the entire fucking time, guys. For like 4 hours, it was, I was on the phone with Margaret. She asked me, is it going to be safe at the Capitol? You know, the Capitol. I said, yes, bring Tommy and Billy and the boys. Of course it's going to be safe. This is a hallowed ground. This is a sanctity of all that is good and noble in the world. This is just a wonderful place. A place of law and order. A place of wonder. 4 fucking hours, guys. That's our taxpayer fucking money, guys. Just so y'all know. Stimulus checks? $2,000 stimulus checks? No. Oh, yes, bring Billy and Margaret and the boys. We'll go and have a picnic on the White House lawn near the Rose Garden. And we'll look at the birds as the peaceful transfer of power flows all over the place. Yes, yes, yes. Nate, what's up, bro?
Yo, did I just see that? I didn't even catch who that was, but was he talking about a dead kid? Was he politicizing?
Who even fucking knows, bro? This whole thing is
I think
just
that's what
dumb.
I just heard. That's insane. That's
These
insane.
guys, okay. So they're in the budget committee. They're trying to confirm all of these neoliberals like Neera Tanden, and they all want to cut Social Security, Medicare, all the entitlements. They call them entitlements. What is this but an entitlement of the boredom of the Senate? Get the fuck to work, guys. This pisses me off, Nate. It really does. It really does. What do you think?
They don't feel like they represent the people. They don't.
I don't feel like
I mean, no, but it's worse than that. So, like, in my opinion, and this is just me, if you ever go to Italy and you go to the Vatican, it's its own little country with basically the Vatican's a giant bank. Don't know if anybody's Catholic. Don't give a shit. And when you see that much opulent wealth, it's basically a bank you can walk into and just like, oh, hello, they stole everything. This is amazing. So DC, I don't know if you've been and spent a lot of time in DC.
No, not a lot of time.
But like even in 2008, there's the people getting thrown out of their houses, world's going crazy, right? Real estate bubble, everything crashes. There's still money pouring into DEMA. It's its own, it's the pantheon of American politics. So they don't give a shit about us, and they don't care about wasting our money.
I've been trying to get everybody to know that. Like, what the hell? How can everybody knows? I saw today, some people were talking about, they were talking about the impeachment trial. Literally every single newspaper, mainstream media newspaper has Trump because of the insurrection. Like they tell you you know how it is. They tell you what to think. They put it in the headline because they know you're not going to read the article. And everybody's quoting it. I even had this guy, he's like, dude, Donald Trump, like you look at Facebook, Donald Trump, he's mad crazy, bro. The TV talking about him. Why do we live in a society of idiots? I mean, I don't want to be mean, but it's just so sad. The Chinese know it's propaganda. How come we don't?
Because we have people that have been conditioned to think a certain way, depending on what state you grew up in and what neighborhood you grew up in and your education system you grew up within. And then you go to college, and I mean, it depends on the college you go to, but I think a lot of the colleges you go to, a lot of it's just absolute Not the educational part, obviously, but a lot of the politics and the bias that is shown while learning in a lot of these institutions is horrendous, man. So, I mean, for example, you say insurrection, right? When the mob went in the Capitol or whatever. Like, they're not talking about Minnesota. They're not talking about Chicago. They're not talking about what's still going on in Seattle and Portland. I mean, you have people protesting in neighborhoods in some of these places.
I know
and
they're not.
they're not at all, and and a lot of deaths that have happened amongst this, because anytime there's this much chaos, criminal syndicates or just criminals in general will take advantage of it because it's chaos, man. It's just like a war zone. The more chaos there is in an area, the more opportunity is for people who are predatory. It's true.
So
that's why our boys are crazy.
Speaking of predatory, the mainstream media is predatory on the minds of people, I guess, that lack education, because you look at here's the Associated Press right now. It says only five Republicans sided with Democrats to proceed with impeachment trial. Like, there should have been more, but only the 5 brave Republicans could side with the Democrats. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Like, even the framing they do in every single thing they do is just so blatant. So you already know who these 5 are. You already know who these 5 are. Let me just tell you guys. Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, Ben Sasse of Nebraska, Susan Collins of Maine, Mitt Romney of Utah, and Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania. You already knew it. These guys are cuck, capitalist, corrupt neoliberals. They've always been. On both sides, there's neoliberals. These are the 5 Republican neoliberals, bro. Mitt Romney, bro. He's been around forever. I'm surprised Mitch McConnell didn't throw his hat in too, because he can smell it. He can smell the blood in the water like a shark does. This is what I'm talking about. This isn't even for us. It's not for the American people. They smell blood in the water. That's all. That's it.
This is Beltway politics, bro. This is all about like we're talking about this, but the people who are really that actually that think this is probably legitimate, except for fringe left, fringe, because we're not fringe anything. We're pretty much about a lot of things, and
I'll say so.
The fucking Beltway is the only ones that are like, ooh, got him. You know what I mean? Because it's a federal city, right? So it's all federally funded, and you can't really. I mean, there's some people there, I'm sure, that aren't making that a whole lot of money, but pretty much everybody for one syndicate or the other in the government. Okay. I mean, not everybody, obviously, but quite a few.
It's a revolving door.
Yeah.
The lobbyists, it's just so sad. And you know what's funny? The reason why they hate Trump so much is because A, the regime change wars, which he didn't start anymore, and B, he made a law about lobbyists and how you couldn't go into office. You had to wait like 5 years or whatever before you could be a lobbyist. That's the reason why they hate him so much. It's not because he's a racist, terrorist, cheating. If anything, they should have impeached Donald Trump on that phone call he did with the Georgia State Secretary. Okay. Now that was kind of desperate. Okay. But they don't even mention it because they're the kind of corrupt motherfuckers that do that shit all the time. So they try to stay away from all the shit that they do every day.
Yep.
That's why.
Absolutely.
That's why their first impeachment was stupid. In fact, I think it actually affected Joe Biden more than affected Trump.
Man, I just would love to see. I just would love to see who's holding the strings and dancing Biden around currently, and Harris. I would really like to see who's in charge, like who's really in control. That would be interesting.
I would too. I think it's Wall Street.
I mean, because I think it's different people, dude.
You think it's a lot of different people?
I think it's more than one. Yeah, I think it's more than one faction. I mean, just the Keystone Pipeline. How much money that was cutting into for a lot of like BNSF Railroad by itself was out once that was done. Do you know how much money they make per year just transporting crude? A fuck ton.
I mean, I can only imagine.
Way too many.
I thought we were energy efficient. Are we not energy efficient? Are we not oil dependent? What's the status on the oil?
Oil and gas. Like, I'm an executive with like Exxon and Chevron.
I mean,
we had to.
It seems like you would know that. I wouldn't.
We did.
I don't give a shit.
I got out of that in December, or early December. So before I got out in November, we had a surplus. We had a large surplus, but that didn't mean shit because we could have sold it to go too. So your gas prices are going to go up. So yeah, I mean
let's bring in
gas
MJ
and oil
Trump.
right now.
Michael, why don't you come on?
Yeah, we were energy independent until January 6th, and the 50 executive orders. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Hey,
go
ahead.
Go ahead.
I heard you bring up my my favorite senator, Mitt Romney. Oh boy, that bozo hates me ever since I didn't appoint him to Secretary of the State. I interviewed him, but at the time I had another guy
some
that
chocolate
I put
cake.
in there.
I remember that.
Mitt Romney, the guy I couldn't put him in as Secretary of the State. Could you imagine Mitt Romney sitting there speaking Mormon to Putin? I couldn't have that. Nah.
Yeah. Hey, well, what do you think about this impeachment, Mr. President? What do you
had a year fired?
Yeah, I had a year fired before you got hired moment with him. He tried to drench me with ketchup. I don't know. The whole impeachment is a farce.
He made you do some magic underwear. Did he make you wear some magic underwear too?
That's all his stuff there. It's all Trump derangement syndrome. FBI knew there was going to be an insurrection on January 3rd, 4th. January 3rd and 4th, we had briefings. I offered 10,000 National Guard, but because it was my idea on January 3rd and 4th, they said no. Boom. If you would have brought 10,000 National Guards in there, they were worried about Valkyrie or something, because those 10,000 National Guard would have been loyal to me. Instead, it was my idea. It was no good. Boom. Everything happened like it did. They knew it was going to happen. All I did is give a rah, go get them, guys. The impeachment's a farce.
So you think you're going to testify, Mr. President, or no?
I don't need to testify. I got O.J. Simpson coming down to play golf with me tomorrow. I can't be messing around up there at the Capitol.
Johnny Cochran needs to fucking represent Donald Trump.
Well, that's why I got O.J. coming, because Johnny's not taking my phone calls.
Oh,
man. I'll get O.J. We'll be on the links, and in between rounds, we'll get O.J. to call Johnny, and I'm out here at Mar-a-Lago with, Trump, and hand me the phone.
I will have to say, I did miss 4 years without any, he tried to get out of, y'all tried to get out of Syria. You tried to get out of Iraq.
Afghanistan.
And they just wouldn't let you. And every time it was, the Kurds. Oh, the freaking, this tribe we've never talked about ever before in our lives is now going to be killed because we got out. They wouldn't let it happen. And God, it was so retarded. And it just sucks to see the left, whatever professes to be the left. Literally, do you remember what Barack Obama ran on? He ran on. Remember back when he was going against John McCain, George W. Bush's pick?
Wasn't it like Yes We Can or some bullshit like that?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can get out of the war. Exactly, Nate. Yes, we can get out of Iraq and Afghanistan. Yeah. He was like, George Bush, I'm going to get out of there. What did he do? He expanded the wars from 2 to 7. He did a surge in Afghanistan. And then Trump tries to get out, literally actually tries. And all we see on the mainstream media is, he's going to kill the Kurds. This is unsafe. Our national security. Let me tell you what you should have done, Mr. President. What I would have done is I would have fucking dissolved the FBI day one. Dissolved. I would have said, you're Hoover's boys. You're fired. That would have been great. You wouldn't have to worry about, what is this, Peter Strzok? What's this? Yeah. What are those guys? We don't have to worry about those stupid Federal Bureau of Instigation retards.
Exactly.
The FBI is the root cause of every single problem since Herbert Hoover. I swear to God, I hate those people.
Yeah, the Hoover boys. You're fired, Hoover boys. You're fired.
The only good thing they ever did was try to fuck up the KKK. And that's because the KKK was in competition with them. Okay? So I'm glad Mississippi burning happened and they fucked up the KKK and infiltrated them. But to ever, literally, that's the only good thing they've ever done. I swear to God, we should have dissolved him after
Defoe
that.
was involved.
Because what?
William Defoe.
Oh, that's right,
Get him
bro.
involved to get the job done.
And Gene Hackman, remember?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Without those guys.
So, can you say officially, Nate, you're a veteran. Can you tell me officially or any capacity, the neoliberals are arguing with me every day about whether or not we're continuously going into Syria and Iraq. And are we there or not? Do you know? Because the mainstream media won't tell you.
To my knowledge, we do have people in Syria. I know we have people in Iraq. We were trying to draw down more in Afghanistan. Mr. President actually did that, I believe, right before he left off, or like a couple months before he left office. But that got nixed in the first couple days Biden was in office. I mean, you're looking at unending war in Afghanistan. Like in Iraq, to my knowledge, pretty quiet. We're just training people, and we're not there in a aggressive.
There's a little black ops going on. Some black ops, and then some of that, private contract stuff.
I mean,
there's always private
learn our
contracting.
lessons? Didn't we learn our lessons with the mercenaries?
Yeah,
and working with the Saudi army.
No, bro, my email's been blowing up. My email's been blowing up with that type of word for the last. It's Biden elected.
Wow. So, guys, looks like the
blowing
left.
Up. And
looks like we're not peace-loving, freedom-loving doves who want just no war. I mean, God, this is all just a farce. I don't know how much more cynical I can be. I think I've reached my limit. Like literally, everything these people do is a slap in the face to our principles and values as Americans and as the left. So I mean, like literally, there's nothing left to do but play golf, Mr. President. Because literally, we're on a highway to hell. I'd play that song if I could get the rights. I can't get the rights, so I can't play that song, guys. But literally, I want to play that song. Okay. We're on a fucking highway to hell, bro. They won't give us $2,000. They will only try to impeach a president that's already left. These guys are so fucked up. I hate them. God damn it.
Actually gonna get that money? Come on. Did you actually ever believe?
No, but it's just so funny. Like all the things they do instead. Like that's the part.
Abortion studies in Kazakhstan. Who the heck cares about it?
We give money to like these.
I've been saying that.
It's just like, that's the thing that gets me. I didn't think I was gonna get the money. You're right, but all the things they did instead is what gets me like over the edge. Like wow, why you might as well have just given us the $2,000. They think that.
And I'd sign that and it'd be done, but Nancy Pelosi. Oh God, she gets under my skin. I saw her on CNN last night, and OMG, Wax Museum Live. Wow.
I mean, you're not lying. She doesn't look real anymore. She's more a machine now than man.
I found out why.
Why?
This, I mean, I might get busted for this. This is a secret, top secret. She uses the same taxidermist as Michael Jackson.
Wow, you know what? That's actually something that could really like spread because she looks like Michael Jackson by now. Y'all notice that?
Absolutely.
Nancy Pelosi actually does look like Michael Jackson.
I can't even. Whenever I hear her, like when she does an interview and she starts speaking, my ears just want to bleed. Like I'm just done.
We're gonna do the cares and the heroes. And we're gonna do the cares and the heroes.
Who votes for her? Who votes for her? I mean, that woman is insane.
Question. I don't know. There's quite a few
politicians.
I'm like,
all the dead people. The dead people that voted for Biden.
I was trying to get a good picture, but I couldn't.
That's fucking rough, dude. Oh man, Tommy, if I look like that when I'm like in my 70s, just put me out of my misery, bro. Seriously, just be like,
dude, Big has some.
Big
has some good ass pictures of Nancy Pelosi.
And she's 3 martinis into the wind by 11 o'clock half the time. Also, big drinking problem.
Big.
Yeah, I don't drink at all.
Huge. Y'all see this one? Look at that.
Oh,
Doesn't she look like our speaker like that? That's great, right, guys?
Ooh.
That's wonderful. Wonderful, guys.
Mutual Omaha.
Anyway, I just hate her. Okay, I'm not trying to like shame her. I know the libtards are gonna come at me now. They're gonna be like, "Excuse me, did you just shame a woman?" She's not a woman anymore. She's a witch.
Hey,
okay.
Let's take it off. Let's take it off the brouhaha or whatever the brouhaha, I think the term for it. And if you guys want to, let's talk about people on NPR is the news station, right? Have you guys heard some of these people talking about how to treat the insurrection as anti-terrorism with anti-terrorism tactics like we use in war zones?
Right.
Ex-CIA people and other people coming out doing that. Y'all heard about that?
I've heard about it. What does that entail? What does that entail?
That entails no rights and us bagging and tagging your ass and you disappearing. That's what it
like Guantanamo Bay, right?
That's what if you get lucky, sure.
Hey, and Guantanamo Bay is not closed. I thought President Obama closed Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, he said he closed it, but we still have and I don't know if I could give you the numbers, but I believe it's 831 terrorists down there. And every now and then we have to let one go, but it's ridiculous. I'm for the disappear them. Let them go out of the helicopter. And mid. Whoops, you're gonna return them to their country, or usually what we do is we give them to another country that's near their home country that's got some really nasty prisons, and then they get them. We have deals set up with first time they get in the courtyard, 86.
Okay, I think you spent a little bit too much time with Hillary Clinton. I think you spent a little too much time with Hillary Clinton, Mr. President. It's a little bit too much time. Okay.
You get some Clinton problems with solutions. I like it though. What's funnier though is I think we just parachute them into China because Trump's Muslims apparently. So let's just send them all there. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Let's just airdrop them in.
Why don't we just stop drone striking their fucking houses and families, and then they won't try to be they won't be radicalized. They won't come after us, and then we won't have to die over there or do that. Why don't we stop bombing their fucking countries?
The one drone strike that was absolutely outrageously fun, Soleimani. When we got him,
you would say that, Mr. President. You would say that.
Yeah,
I'm
I got
not
a
opposed
friend.
to his point. I'm kind of with him.
Yeah, I got a friend over there that was trying to, rib on me and stuff, and I told him, I said, look, just because I killed your uncle, hey, don't get on me. He deserved every bit of that whole bomb that he got.
That's some tact right there, Mr. President. That's charm.
Absolutely. And you see how it's precision, boom, just the whole street's calm, boom, the SUV incinerates. That's the way. That's what happens.
That's the way you do it, Mr. President. That's probably the way you do Melania too, right?
Yeah. Fake
Melania. Be best. # be best.
Fake Melanias take it just as hard.
Well, with that, guys, we're out of time. Age to politics. Does anyone have any final thoughts? Nate, you go first. Final thoughts. Anything? Nate?
I think they're going to keep taking our rights. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think everybody should start paying attention to our rights.
I think you're right too.
Little bit by little.
I think we should pay attention to our rights and our fucking actually taxpayer money. I think you're right, Nate. And yeah, we should kill these guys hypothetically. And for you, Mr. President,
I'm gonna go serious. During the midterms, we need to vote. We need to vote the Democrats out. We need to get Republicans in there. No ifs, ands, or buts. We need to get the Republicans in there. We need majority control back. Midterms, turn out for the midterms. Vote. And then we'll see what happens in 2024. It might not be me, but it might be Ivanka. And I bet you she'll give President Harris a good run for her money.
I don't like anything you just said, but you're talking Asian politics, and I respect your right to have free speech. So, as always, guys, be free-thinking, innovative, totally open-minded.